I think I still wake up sometimes and in disbelief that this is my job. You know, it's just so rewarding. Hi, I'm PC Leandra McCurry of Leicestershire Police, and this is Police Dog Nico. I think I've always been quite determined to be a dog handler. Like I say, from the very early stages of my life, I wanted to do this job. I'm quite a strong and determined person. I'm not going to give up very easily, so I wanted to do it, and it's all been worth it. Trying to overcome personal losses and grievance is hard in itself. Everybody has different ways of dealing with grief. For me, I didn't really have much of a chance. The first month into the role, I lost my grandma. A week after, I lost my auntie. So the grieving process for me was quite sudden, quite quick. However, having a focus, knowing that I've got to show up for this job, for the dog, for my course, allowed me, I think, to grieve and to have something to focus on, to settle my mind, to you know, just have something to focus on, have something positive to look forward to and to deal with. And even the small rewards that you get with them in training just makes your heart happy. And those little things that they do, the way they make you proud, or they find something that you know that you don't see, or they learn something new. It's a feeling like no other, and it does fill that hole, I think, that sometimes is left behind by loss. We are based here at Leicestershire Police Headquarters in Enderby, but we cover Leicester, Leicestershire and Rutland. I wanted to become a police dog handler from quite a young age. I think the first interaction I had when I was in primary school, a police dog handler deployed his dog in the playground to hold a suspect, and I think from that moment on I knew that was what I wanted to do. There's been several battles to overcome, I think, to finally be able to say I can do this job. My proudest achievement is probably his first operational bite. I think it's every handler's kind of apprehension when they first go out there, whether the dog will actually do what it's supposed to do, because there's only so much training you can do. You can't train for reality, you can only train for kit. So when he had his first operational bite, I think for me that was one of the proudest moments for me, knowing that he will back me up out and about on the streets. One of the incidents that will always stick with me, I think, is we went to a burglary to a church. We got a call saying that there was 2 people inside the building. I deployed with my firearms team, and they quickly detained a person inside. They were removed and they continued their search throughout the building. However, were unable to locate somebody or anybody else in that building. So we left, and within about half an hour of leaving, we've got a call from a member of the public saying that they still think there's somebody in there. So we've redeployed, and this time I've asked the firearm team to take a step back and deployed Nico into the building. Nico's taken me upstairs and into a small room with a loft hatch. Having a mooch around, he's lifting his head up, and then after a few minutes he started barking at the loft hatch. We weren't sure what he was indicating on, because obviously officers had already been up there, so whether he was recent scent or we weren't sure. But as every handler knows, it's a trust your dog situation, and I was pretty sure that Nico wouldn't bite on residual scent, so I asked another handler to go up and have a look, and lo and behold, on the other side of the building in the insulation was somebody else. And he was quickly arrested and removed from the building. But I think without Nico there, that area had already been searched, and I think without the indication from Nico, he probably would have remained in that building. We spend so much time together, and then knowing that I can bring him to work with me and he's not going to be alone and he's going to do what he loves, it's just like, yeah, feeling like no other really. A few weeks ago we were asked to deploy to one of the outskirt villages of Leicestershire. At the beginning of our shift we were made aware of a report of a stabbing. However, there was no operational requirement for Nico to attend at that point, so we continued with our shift as usual. About 5-6 hours later, I get a call from one of the officers asking whether Nico would be able to come and conduct a property search. It turns out that the weapon involved had been discarded, believed to be in a nearby area. So the officers were wondering whether Nico would be able to search that. Again, it had already been searched by officers. They'd thoroughly carried out a search in the bushes, on their hands and knees, and they weren't very hopeful. But we deployed anyway, and deployed Nico for a property search. Within a few seconds, he's gone into the hedge, fumbled his way out, and presented me with a plastic bag. Inside had a knife, which was in fact the weapon used in the assault. Winning the Thin Blue Paw Special Recognition Award means the absolute world to me. It's been a really hard journey to get to where I am, and I think to be recognised for persevering just goes to show that it is worth it. Having Nico by my side, winning this award, just means everything to us. It just demonstrates that, you know, hard work pays off and you have to keep going. Don't give up, and don't let setbacks, you know, knock you back. Don't let people get in your way. You've got to keep pushing through, and it's all worth it in the long run.